with episode 14 of the RFL podcast where we discuss film, cameras, and the analog life. I got that. I'm not used to saying it. Mike's the one that always says it. Today we're going to kind of basically just be talking. We're going to be discussing photography as a career, kind of how to make money, maybe some different gear you can use, and then Ava put a poll out on Instagram, on our Instagram, so we're going to be answering some of your questions too. First, we're going to get into what is on the table. Ava, do you want to start?
I don't know. You can start. One of you.
Well, on the table today, I have a camera strap that we sell here.
Shameless
I
plug.
just think it's super, super cute. I bought it myself. It's super affordable. And yeah.
They're very comfortable. I have one too.
They are.
They're so comfortable.
They're very
nice.
comfortable.
And that's
which
not
is
just us.
necessary.
That's not just us hyping up the lab. They're a great camera strap.
They're actually real. Yeah, they're nice camera straps. I've had one since I think we ordered them, which was like several years ago now, and it's still going strong.
And we have other variations too. So if you don't like that pattern, there's more.
I gave one away in a Secret Santa.
Nice.
Big hit.
Did they like it? Mm-hmm. Good. What did you bring?
I brought my 4x5 film holders because I'm doing 4x5.
Ooh.
Did your negatives turn out?
Yeah. I just developed my first colors and they came out good.
Didn't you get a nasty email about your black and white ones?
Wow, starting off.
We're gonna.
Wait, what's the story there?
Are we allowed to talk about that or no?
I
Are you gonna get in
mean,
trouble?
I don't know.
I've talked about teachers before.
Well, she's still in the class. Though.
Yeah,
We're
I'm still actively in the
let's just skip
program.
over that.
Maybe we'll come back
I
next
thought
time.
that negatives looked great. Ava, what do you have on that?
We have now a Wheel of Fortune type thing for a new YouTube series we're starting called Wheel of Film, where we'll put on a few films that either no one shoots or one that like the staff will recommend, and then we're gonna just spin it and then pick one to go shoot that day. So
I'm really
that's what
excited for
that
that.
is.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're actually filming one tomorrow. Yeah, I will.
All right, we're gonna move this because it's getting in the. It's just gonna be
Put it
sitting next
right
to us.
next to you.
All right, and I brought a ball of 120 tape. This has been collected from the summer. Summer. Caleb Dorr and Jonathan DeHate sent in a bunch of 120, so I just started collecting it. And so this is not all of it, because I'm the only one that does it. Everyone else throws it away like lame people.
I put it on the side.
So I just take it, and I've been covering it. So this has been like, 6 or 7 months?
Yeah.
Roughly? So that's that.
What's it weigh?
I don't
What's it
know,
weigh?
like,
Oh, we
maybe
should have
not even-
weighed
it's
it.
probably not even a full pound.
Could you like...
No, that's a pound.
Handed it down. See.
Oh, no, that's got
This
decent
is the
weight.
most boring segment of the podcast. We're just throwing around a ball of tape.
No, but this would hurt if you hit somebody with it.
I know.
You
Like,
should try.
it'd be...
No, I thought about using it as a weapon if someone ever came into the lab.
We don't.
Mr.
I
Michael.
think of
We
better
don't do
weapons,
that
but-
here.
Will you grab a scale for us? We want to weigh this and see how heavy it is. Michael's going to go weigh it for us. If you're behind the scenes, Michael just got taken out in the ribs by that. So it can be used as a weapon, but he's going to weigh it for us and see how heavy that is.
You hit the boss.
I know. We hijacked the podcast today. We told him it's just going to be
It's
us.
just gonna be us today.
Oh, it
is
exactly
1
1 pound. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've covered everything on the table, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. Photography is a career.
Yeah, so what are your?
I'm going to call you out.
Okay.
What are you doing right now?
Right now I do a lot of lifestyle and weddings. So like family portraits, graduations, all of that, and a little bit of event coverage. I actually had an inquiry the other day, and it was to do like an album cover for a music artist.
Whoa, that's
which was
cool.
really
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. What
Who
they want
was
to
it?
do? Do they have any specifics? Like what they wanted to do?
Yeah, so she already had an idea. She had like a few different outfits and a few different ideas, but like the whole concept of her song, it's called Okay, Okay. And I hope she doesn't mind me sharing the story behind the song, but it was kind of surrounded a time where she was going through a dark time. Her dog had passed, and then her parents announced that they were getting divorced. And so kind of finding acceptance in the grief. And so her, like the whole vibe behind it is going to be like we're gonna very much lean into like blue tones for like this like bittersweet kind of feeling, but gradual, just like acceptance of what was happening. Yeah.
What's the artist's name?
Yeah.
Her name's Diana Trujillo. She's on Spotify, so you can look her up.
Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Are you gonna
That's
do that
cool.
on film or digital?
Digital, but you know what?
You know what you should try is 800T or 50D
Yeah.
in the day and just see, because
You should
those
just
have
see.
really blue
Yeah.
tones.
Just do it.
Okay,
They have
I'll
really blue
think about
tones.
it. I'll pitch the idea
Yeah,
to her.
I'd just bring both digital and film and
Yeah.
take a few of each
do
and see which
both
one
and
you
see-
like better.
Oh, and that would be so cool. I do like the idea of kind of like the vintage touch. It feels a little bit nostalgic, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always bring digital in case if I'm doing like a professional shoot, like I've done like baby ones and like maternity or whatever.
Ones is
What is
crazy.
it called? Oh, when they announce it. What is it called when they announce
Gender
the
reveal?
gender? No,
Men.
no, just a baby
Announce-
reveal. They were just announcing that they
Announce.
had.
Okay.
I think they were just a baby reveal, whatever that is.
Pregnancy reveal.
Pregnancy reveal.
Okay.
And I made sure to
Pregnancy
bring. She
shoot?
wanted me to shoot film, so I shot a roll of Portrait 800. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
But I was a little scared, so I took a digital camera just in case and got some good ones on there.
Yeah.
But I find it's really annoying sending someone both film and digital, because the way I edit my digital is so different to the way I edit, or not edit, but the way I don't edit
The way
my film
we
scans.
don't edit film scans.
So I've noticed like sending them both, almost like, ugh, the digitals look terrible. Like they're so like. Now to be fair, I wasn't color. I wasn't.
like it's
Editing.
But I also wasn't color grading at the
I'm
time.
gonna show you the
So.
photo that I took that is gonna anger both of you. Oh, it's
No, I'm
kinda
being more
So you
positive.
edited
I'm
this
not getting
photo?
angry.
all right. So yeah, it's a before and after.
You took the
It's gonna be up here on the
sign
screen.
out?
It's gonna be up here on the screen, everybody. You can
Yeah.
see the before and after.
Heavily edited. Not really heavily. More just
I mean, it's not
object
that-
removal
She took out the sign.
and the other
I think
window.
the sign adds character,
No, it was just bad.
and the pipe adds character too.
Oh, he likes it.
Any film? No, I'm saying the real
Oh,
one.
he doesn't like it.
I'm not. No, that's not.
Well,
I'm trying to be more positive.
It's
okay.
a difference of
Can I see?
Yeah.
whether you want something to be solely the focus, or if you want it to be more like you're just looking into the.
I like the
Area?
edited version a lot more.
Oh no!
I
and
would say-
this is wrong. I took out that window too.
I would say
I
it
was gonna
adds
say I thought I
Yeah.
a
saw
lot
the
more
window.
character. All right, so it weighs.
A
We were
pound.
talking about that. Earlier. It weighs a pound, and it just took Michael's ribs out. So
Good
hopefully he
job. You
recovers.
just hit the boss with your ball of tape.
yep.
We're gonna
It's a
get us
good
all
thing we have
fired.
Anyways.
workers' comp.
No, I think that photo had more character though, with the sign and the pipe. It was like added more character, and it's
No.
more like, oh, it's nice. The other edited version doesn't look bad either. It's like whatever, but
It's just different.
like
Well,
I
duh,
said, I
'cause
like
you
to
edited
capture.
it, but-
Anyways, we're not getting that debate.
We're not getting into editing film. If you
What are
want,
you-
if you want to watch us talk about editing film, go watch our other podcast. I have no idea which number it was, but go watch it.
Things got pretty heated.
Thanks, Paul, for putting that.
Friendships were ruined. Anyways, what are you?
They don't talk anymore. It's really tense here at the lab.
So, Brie, what are you working on as photography?
I don't
In your
know.
career as a photographer?
I'm
Just don't go to school.
I'm just going with the flow.
You can also talk about like your dreams, your aspirations. I know we
What is
talked a
your
little bit
wildest
about
dream?
that. We talked a little
we
bit
don't
about that
want-
in a different podcast about. I don't remember what it's about.
Give me projects. Like, what's a good project you're working on right now?
A 4x5.
That is a good.
We just should
project.
see how those turn out.
What were you
colors.
photographing for that?
I'm doing landscapes on them
Okay.
for one of my classes. Guys, I'm just burnt out a little bit right now. So.
Alright. Ava, what are you doing in a career of photography? I know you can't talk about some things.
Yes, I do have a project in the
Top
works
secret.
that isn't. I'm not really talking about until I'm done. But I've just been kind of doing whatever. I have a series that I actually have been wanting to do for a while, digitally, that sprung off of the last assignment I did with Bree and I's last class together when we were both doing our AS degree at Daytona State. And I want to continue that. I have a whole like 20-something PowerPoint for what I want to do in the series, what I want it to like name, the description, and then slides for each photo. And it'll just be a series of like one produced photo, not like you go shoot and then you like have a few from that same shoot. They're all going to be very different and very like just very produced with like multiple lights, light bars, light painting, stuff like that with props and stuff. So I'm kind of nervous to get into it because I've planned everything out and it's a lot. So I haven't actually fully like dove in yet, but I don't
Do
know.
you prefer like the planning of photos more? Or do you prefer like the executing of photos
It
more?
depends on what I'm doing. I only have done that a few times with things that I wanted a very specific way, and I didn't want to forget because I'm very forgetful. So that's the only one I've actually heavily done this with is this project, and it's a good thing because I've had it for a while and haven't done anything with it yet, but I have it there. So
That's an issue for me is I have so many different things
Yeah.
I want to do in photography and like so many different ideas of different shoots and different. It's just like getting it actually done and like sitting down and like planning it and then taking the time to go shoot. Because there's a ton of different like portrait stuff I want to do because I want to get more into that. I found that I enjoy it, and when I go out and do it, I find myself getting excited about it. And I feel like sometimes when I go out and shoot, I'll be like, I'm not excited to go out and shoot right now. And then I'll actually get out there and be like, oh wait, there's something I do enjoy doing, which has been portrait and like candids, I guess. So that's something I've been getting into a lot. But my current, I guess, career in photography right now is wildlife. I've been talking about getting a print shop going for
a
like
while.
2 or 3 years, and I just have not done it. I'm eventually going to get a print shop going and start selling my prints, but that's something I love doing is wildlife photography. So that's something I've really enjoyed a lot. Doing it on film is interesting too.
is it? Would you say it's harder?
Oh yeah. But I usually just bring like my telephoto, my digital, and then I'll bring like a 120 camera. So like a bird gets really close, there's a good sunset, or like there's an alligator really close, and I'll like just pull out my 120 and take a picture. But
No,
I
the
usually don't mainly
120
shoot.
shooters.
Yep.
So what would you suggest then for someone trying to get into wildlife photography? What like gear and stuff would you
Get a
first?
telephoto. Obviously, you need that. Like that's the basic, I would say. Obviously, like we were joking because we were talking about like, different gear, and Ava was like, "Let's get a camera."
Yeah,
Well,
you have to start
obviously.
with a camera.
I would say get a camera. It's so difficult because you could get like a really expensive camera and then get a cheaper lens, or get a cheaper camera body and a more expensive lens.
I would get the lens.
Right. I err on the
Yeah,
side
the
of
lens
lens,
is a lot.
especially if you do like mirrorless. I only shoot mirrorless.
Yeah.
It's far superior.
DSLR.
In my
is-
Oh,
opinion.
that could be a whole debate.
Right. And it will be a whole, I'm sure we'll get some fiery comments from that. But I always shot DSLR growing up, and then I bought a Canon R, and I was like, holy cow, this is so much better.
Yeah.
So I have the R, which is like their cheapest mirrorless model, but I'm buying expensive lenses that will fit anything. So if I want to get an R5 or an R4 or
six.
R3, R6,
Six.
R6 or something like
I
that.
wish I had the 3.
I get
that'd be
a camera
amazing.
like that. I can and still have all the lenses for it.
R1. I want that.
And it's nice because all of you guys shoot Canon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can steal their lenses if I ever need to.
Canon.
You could also sell us lenses.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
just
I
sold a
sold-
lens to me.
sold
So
the
I'm like,
lens for It's actually funny because I've had that 24. I sold their 24 to 70. I've had that for
28,
Since-
20, 24? No,
20
24. 24 to 70. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I've had that for. It's kind of funny because I knew I wanted to get into wildlife, and Michael was selling his 24 to 70 and his telephoto. And for some reason, I bought the 24 to 70. My brain just wasn't working. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get this, even though I don't do portrait photography at all. So I've
But
kind of
you
been sitting
wanna
on
get
it.
into it.
Right. I've used it a handful of times, not very much. I'll do it for like family photos or if there's a random shoot that someone will ask me to do. But overall, I didn't use it that much. So sold it, and she uses it a lot for her weddings and stuff.
I kept
and her
borrowing
shoots.
it. Like I was constantly messaging, hey, can I borrow your lens?
It's
So
a
I'm
great
so
lens.
excited.
It's a great lens.
It is.
It's a very
it's
nice
a
lens.
beast of a lens. It's got,
It's hefty.
yeah.
Especially if you have a battery pack.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I'm assuming you have to shoot a battery pack at weddings, right?
Yeah. So I just got a battery pack for Christmas. I guess not just, that was a few months ago, but I photographed my first wedding with the battery pack and that lens.
Oh
my gosh.
I've done weddings before on that, and it's not fun.
It took, I think I stopped being sore like 2 days ago. So that would have been a week and a day that I was sore from carrying that way.
That's
I did also
insane.
have a film camera on, like it was a dual strap harness, but yeah, I was sore for so long.
It's a
And-
beast.
yeah.
Because I shot one wedding on that, and it was fine. I don't know. I had a strap, so I let it dangle a lot. But it's definitely a heavy setup. You got to build those photography muscles.
We should do gym workouts for
We
photographers.
should do a YouTube short of
We
a
should
photographer
do that.
gym workouts.
Just working on our wrist.
That's funny. We
Oh,
should
gosh,
do that.
that's funny. Anyone else have any different like gear, like a must-have gear for shooting what you like to shoot?
Film.
It's not gear.
Yes, it is. It's part of
What
part
kind of
it.
film? What kind of film specifically? Let's get specific.
What's the best film in your opinion?
It depends on what I'm shooting.
We've done this before on the podcast,
Yeah.
but I'm going to ask again. One film, that's all you have to do. And let's say you have to go for a week. You have to do wildlife, you have to do portraits, you have to shoot a wedding, and you have to shoot like just candid landscapes. You have to do it all in a week.
Like Desert Island, like
Yeah,
Desert
but like
Island
so you can
film.
only have
I
one
got an
stock.
answer.
One stock.
Yeah, Desert Island.
I got Portrait 800.
That's what I was thinking.
No,
That
no,
is-
listen.
Gold.
Yes, but you can't.
What about low light
But what about
situation?
low light situations? Portrait 800 has that
Push.
neutral base. No, you said one. You can't push it.
Push. No,
You
you
can't-
can have. Yes, just one stock. You can do whatever you want to it. You can pull,
Oh.
push.
Well, you didn't say that.
Your question wasn't
So
specific
I would
enough.
say gold. You would
Specific
say
enough.
Portrait 800.
Probably.
What would you say, Brie?
Ultramax.
I've never
Or-
liked Ultramax.
or-
It gives me
or-
weird vibes. Okay.
Or XP2.
You'd want to shoot all black and white
Yes.
for a whole. Like you have to do like a bunch of different types of shoots though, not just like one specific thing.
It's XP2, so
I mean, pop off. What about you, Vanessa?
I mean, I think I'm probably Portrait 800. I think that's a smart choice.
It is a great film. I've shot a couple rolls with it.
I'm not on the portrait train.
Have you shot 800?
Honestly, I am not on 400.
Have you shot 800 though?
Yeah.
It knocked my socks off. I was so surprised by how good the images turned out, and like the tones were so good. Like I took a picture of like a sunflower, and the yellow popped so much, but the greens in the background were so like neutral and like nice. Like
I
the
think I've
colors
only
were
shot
awesome.
it at night. I shot it at night in New York, and they pushed it.
Shoot it
I mean,
during
I
the day.
liked it, and I think I liked it more than I like 400 or 160. But
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
mean, even still,
I mean, there's
Honestly-
cheaper films that you can
Yeah.
shoot that are way better.
That's true. Honestly, Portrait 400, I gotta say, not
were
a
talking
fan.
about this.
We were
It's
talking
like
about this the other
a
day.
little. I feel like it's always a little too green.
Yeah.
Which I get for the skin tones, but I don't know. It just annoys me.
Yeah.
I don't even shoot
I
it,
come
really.
to find, I don't think I've ever.
I maybe shot a roll,
Maybe I'll roll.
but it was through probably like it was probably like whenever Michael like just he had a free roll he just gave me. I've never bought a pack of it, so I
No.
probably shot it in a camera that wasn't the greatest anyways. So I haven't given it a good shot. No pun intended. But Portrait 400, I don't know. It's just I don't
don't
feel
know.
the need to spend
I don't know.
$85 on 5 rolls of film. It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
Portrait 800 though, worth it. I like that film a lot.
Yeah, definitely shoot that if you haven't before. How about if you had to pick none of the normal ones? Like only one of the weird ones.
Like no Kodak or Fuji,
Yeah, no Kodak, no Fuji.
and we'll say no Cinematic.
We'll say
even
no
better,
black
and no
and whites.
lomography. So you basically can shoot from like
You're not
No,
allowed to
you have
shoot.
to-
So
you
they're
have to
not
go
good as
lomography.
digital.
You have to go lomography. You have to keep
Lomography
it in
has
there.
some weird ones, yeah. I didn't say
Let's say one that has to have an effect. It can't
Yeah.
just be a basic color film.
I haven't shot anything that has an effect.
nothing.
We all know the best film that has an effect, guys.
Which is
You're gonna say
Low Purple.
No.
It is phenomenal. It's the best film.
It's
for
it's
it.
interesting. Some things though, it just doesn't handle the colors well.
Experimental film is just not my
supposed
thing.
To. It's supposed to.
No,
make
like
things-
it doesn't. Like the purple's not purple.
Well,
You gotta change
have
it.
to shoot it properly, and you also have to
I kn-
correct it properly in the scanners because that's one thing that we've
Yeah,
noticed
you gotta make
recently.
it-
Well, no, because we were
Bring out the
correcting it.
blue.
Was it last week? Mm-hmm. That I think you were correcting it, and we noticed you have to like
You have
really
to add
correct for it
in,
because
yeah.
especially the Noritsus.
You have to make it cooler.
Yeah, because the
when you're
Noritsus
scanning
will
it.
try to correct it for like normally, and we don't like that. We want it to look like the images are supposed to look. So you can sometimes turn the color off on the machine, like where it does no color corrections, but we've left that off before, and so entire orders were scanned with the color off.
But if you
Like Michael, I think we've talked about this on the podcast, but he scanned all of his film from New Zealand, which I think was like what?
40 rolls,
How much was it? Like 30 rolls of
rolls.
film. 30 rolls of film he scanned before realizing I had left John's fault sticker. I had left the color off,
know what I
and he had
do.
to scan all of it.
what?
Right.
Street savvy.
Call the streets sad, black and white dream. Fake films, magic, we're caught in the scene.
That's not a weird one. That's normal.
It's weird.
Just because it has a weird name doesn't mean
What's
it's
the
not a
song?
normal film.
They call it
No.
street
from the
savvy.
streets of yeah, I don't remember the name of the song.
Call the streets sad, black and white dream. Fake films, magic, we're caught in the scene.
That was a
and
real hit
white
on YouTube.
dream.
People really love that one. But yeah, what's a weird film you would shoot, Vanessa?
I don't think I know enough about film yet. To
Well, you guys
answer
both
that.
love turquoise. You probably would love to shoot that. It looks so good with skin tones.
I don't think I would.
That's actually my nightmare. I've got to be honest. Like my nightmare would be like if I were to ever go to a wedding and try and shoot film exclusively, and then to like accidentally do it on turquoise.
Imagine you're doing. Wait, no. Imagine you're doing a destination shoot. Okay, and you open up your camera bag, and all the rolls of film you're supposed to shoot, and there's all turquoise. Or like all lomography, like all the rolls are just terrible.
Pinch me.
Oh, that'd be a nightmare.
I have seen a wedding come back and it was turquoise,
Yeah.
wolfen, like psych blues, and then like a gold. And I was like,
What are you doing with
the
your life
heck
That would be
is
my
going
nightmare.
on here?
Right.
And the gold, unfortunately, didn't come out that well. So then I was like, they have all these
John
like
knows the
turquoise
struggle.
images, and I'm like, they look like zombies.
That's so sad. Alexa, play
Bree's
Disposable.
bullying. I said Bree's bullying again. Bullying me as per usual.
Oh.
Anyways, gear. For what you do, what's one piece of gear you would say is like essential?
I would say a flash and like a good understanding of how to use flash effectively. I think when it comes to events and weddings, a lot of people try to get into it with just their camera. And some people I feel like label themselves as like natural light photographer just because
They don't know how to use it.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna ruffle some feathers with that one.
Oh, no.
And if you know how to use a flash and you've decided that's not my look, good for you. But if it's 10 o'clock at night and you're at like an indoor venue and the lights are down low, like you're not going to get the kind of photos that you need to deliver professionally without a flash.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's even during the daytime. You can utilize a flash so much. It's
Yeah.
insane. I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I shot a wedding without a flash one time, and I found like the whole back half of the wedding was just trashed. They didn't
Yeah.
pay me for it, so I didn't feel that bad. I had a couple that I was able to like salvage, but with that Canon R2 that I have, when you turn the ISO up super high, it just gets. I feel like it hits like the 30, like 16 between 1600 and 3200. It gets so grainy.
It's
so
just
quick.
it's really
Specifically with the
grainy.
R. The newer models, I think, will do a lot better with being able to turn your ISO up, and it's okay.
I went up to 51,000 the other day.
Holy cow! Did it turn out?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely grainy and like not the photo like composition and concept was really cool. It was for a birthday party that I was photographing, and I'll show you guys. But it was just so grainy and like I was kind of like I struggled to edit it a little bit. Yeah, let me.
Denoise.
Yeah, I
Lifesaver.
messed up some like surf photography one time, and so I just turned the grain way up in Lightroom and then made it black and white, and it was fine. It was digital though, not film. I would never edit
You
my
don't
film.
need
in
to
such a
turn
way.
up the grain on a film. Oh wow. It works though.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean
you
it
can't- yeah.
was late at night, so
Oh, no, that's awesome.
thank you.
That's
yeah,
really
that's
good.
awesome.
That's sick. It's giving like Disney princess vibes.
Yeah, well, so it was like a Bridgerton,
was.
a Bridgerton tea
giving
party.
Oh, okay, I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see that. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well,
It was in that moment I wished I had a flash actually because I didn't bring it because I wasn't being paid. It was just like for a friend, and it was nighttime, and I didn't think I'd be photographing that late at night because the game plan wasn't to stay that late. But yeah, I kind of wish that I really had a flash at that point because flashes are essential.
Yep. Nowadays I pretty much pack everything in my camera bag. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm bringing my flash, I'm bringing my reflectors, I'm bringing my gels just in case. I'm bringing like batteries.
I love a reflector.
Oh, a good reflector can go a
Yes.
long way. You just need someone to hold it.
That's my pick. That's the gear that you need, no matter what
Reflector?
you're
Oh,
doing.
yeah.
Reflector.
I've never used it ever.
Well, it's
You
wildlife.
should.
That'd be pretty
I
difficult.
don't do like that. I literally have my camera and my lenses, and that's what I do.
I want to do
Tripod.
portraits on my 4x5 with and use a reflector.
Use a reflector.
That'd be cool.
That would be
My
cool.
dream.
All right, here's one that's maybe gonna ruffle some feathers. What's a piece of gear that's like overhyped you guys don't like? Like a piece of gear that like is like, oh, it's a must get, but you've tried it and it was like it wasn't that great, or I don't need it.
I'm gonna say an 85 millimeter lens.
Take that back right now. Take that back.
Crazy
That
work.
is my heart and soul.
I've never shot 85, like just an 85
just,
prime.
oh, it's
You're
so
shattering
nice.
me.
I think I'm the type of person who is like, if you have a 24 to 70 and then a 70 to 200, you're set.
Honestly,
I get that a
the
little bit.
the 24 to 70 almost is an 85.
I don't love a prime.
And why spend the
don't
more
get it.
of the money?
See, okay, so like prime can be really good, or I can be like, all right, this is annoying me. It has to be like the right thing. Sometimes I actually don't shoot mine that much. I'll do mine for like in my water housing. Like for some reason, car photography looks really good on the prime lens. I don't know why. Just the way it frames it is really nice.
A 50?
Yeah, I have the 50 and the 35.
Yeah.
I tried a 24 millimeter in our ECN2. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
that video is still happening.
No, well,
It is.
that was my
It'll be out by then.
that was my second time shooting on
was a
it. and
failure.
I just didn't like the 24 millimeter
That's also a
prime.
film camera though. Doesn't that change a little bit or not really for you? I think it changes for like what lens I shoot.
Well, the distortion is different because you have lens compression, which if you don't know what that is, definitely
don't.
look it up. Look it up because your lens, the millimeter of it isn't just how far. It'll distort, which is why an 85 is used for portraits because it distorts the face to look just right.
So that's why you would say shoot an 85.
So usually you don't shoot like portraits on a 35 or a 24.
Yeah.
You'd look really weird.
Yeah.
Like you can if that's the style you're going for. I'd say definitely if you don't know what that is, look it up. Look up a YouTube video or something. Someone could definitely explain it.
Yeah. So changing topics a little bit.
That was kind of a tangent.
You said that you're kind of looking at selling prints. Have you like researched that at all? Like what does that kind of look like?
I have. It's an interesting field because some people will charge like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for their prints. And then some people don't charge that much. So I'm trying to find like the middle ground of like what people are willing to pay and like what's too expensive, what's not expensive enough. And then the frame size. That's been a struggle for me is finding what, like how I want to sell. If I want to do like, probably don't want to do 4x6 because no one really wants to buy a wildlife print like this big. It just doesn't make sense. So finding what frame size I want to do and like offer. That's been kind of the struggle is finding what kind of print size I want to do. Because I have a lot of the images. I have probably like 30 or 40 images that I know are like good photos that I'd like would sell. But just trying to find like what print size. And to be fair, I have not taken the time to sit down and just do it and then make a website and just launch it. Because the lab kind of has all the stuff I need as far as prints. I just had to buy all my own material. And then I could do it out of here. So it's just taking the time to actually do it.
Yeah,
To talk more about print sizes, you know what really bugs me? Why the aspect ratios of camera sensors,
Yes.
paper sizes, and frames are not all the same.
Yes.
So
Right.
annoying.
Why?
Yeah,
It makes
so
no sense to
Why?
me.
Anyways,
it's also
Yeah.
okay if you guys. I don't know if any of you guys ever make like social media stuff. Like trying to get film to look good on an Instagram reel and like get the framing right. I found is so difficult, especially shooting 120 because I'm switching from 6.6. Well, no, I don't shoot 6. I 6.45 and 6.7.
Yeah,
I
and
have
it's
to
like
readjust. So I'm having to go in and like individually adjust each one, which I'm sure there's a way to like do it to all of them, but I haven't found the setting on CapCut to do that. I just do it on my iPhone, but I found that can be really difficult. Is like because I'm trying to like grow my social media. So when I do drop a print shop, I'll have people that don't want to buy it. But getting your ratios right on Instagram is really difficult with Reels sometimes because it's like that very vertical. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the right word. Vertical. So that's been interesting
okay.
challenge.
I got something. What do we think about the new Instagram update?
hate it.
The rectangles instead of the
Hate it.
squares.
Oh, I like it.
I like it.
You like the rectangles?
Yeah,
I can't. I'm undecided.
you're adding more. in the
I like
image.
I like that they
Yeah, but you're
made
cropping
it so
it.
that you can adjust the preview.
Interesting.
You can adjust.
You
the
can
preview?
adjust the
You
preview.
can. You can
and
adjust the
it's
size
so
on your
cool
posts,
because
too.
like
Yes, I did know that.
for
one.
me, it's kind of like when I'm showcasing my portrait or my portfolio. Sometimes like it won't quite look right in the preview. So what I can do is I can like zoom into the photo and then make it more of a detail shot from afar. And then when you click in, then you see the whole picture.
That's cool. That's
So,
smart. Yeah,
I
'cause
kinda
some of
like
them are
that.
like they look kind of weird now that they're cropped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
How do you
definitely
do-
had to go
Show
in.
me how to do that later.
I will. You just like go in and like hit like the 3 dots on it, and then
Okay.
it pops up an option now to say edit preview, and then you can adjust it however you want.
I just don't get it. So like the original Instagram,
Here we go.
here we go. The original Instagram icon, or the one that we all remember, is like a Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
You know,
I do. Yeah.
square photos. Okay.
But it's no longer that. They're changing.
And now they're just taking aspects from every other app on the planet, and it just looks like it's so. Ugh.
They're rebranding.
And not in a good way.
I have a personal account, and then I also have a photography account. My photography account is rectangles. My personal account is still squares.
Must be nice.
Is that like purposeful?
I didn't do anything.
And
It
then
just didn't.
the
You
other
can't
day-
change it back, I don't think.
I noticed
I didn't
on
do
the Discovery button or page, it's still square. It just annoys me. And
You should be able to change your own profile.
if
You
Mark
can't. Didn't you just say
Zuckerberg
you
wants
can't?
to fight, I will fight.
Change your profile.
No, the whole profile.
Oh.
To be like, I want it to be squares or I want it to be rectangles. Because I like the squares
I like the squares.
as the previews.
As the
You guys are
previews,
really
yeah.
getting
Yeah.
intense about the squares. It's not that
the
big of a
thing
deal.
is, that's
Not
you
that
take
big of a
away
deal.
like the uniqueness of
Well,
it.
yeah, I think. Well,
That's a word.
I mean, I think we can all say it. Like Instagram's just trying to copy TikTok, right?
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
Which is annoying.
Instagram's
like,
just better though.
be original. Be
I like Instagram way
be
better.
original.
Yes.
The original concept was perfect, and now it's crap.
I like
Well, everyone's
the TikTok
copying everybody now.
algorithm more.
Yeah,
but
now they're just trying.
TikTok does have better algorithm. I find a lot of death in my Instagram reels, and TikTok's a lot more uplifting. I found and just better.
That's
the-
kind
something
of crazy.
changed on my photography one, and now it's just like super random stuff with
I
my
hate-
algorithm. And I'm like, what is
I
going
hate
on?
when if you're not like one thing I've found is with my algorithms is if I'm not like constantly searching or viewing like certain things, it'll just like if I'm not on Instagram like for a week, it'll just like be something random. I'm like, I don't want that. I want to see surfing, photography, and then like wildlife. That's like
Yeah.
what I want my for you
Yeah.
to
The
be.
algorithm is crap. Interface is crap.
She's going
Everything
after
about
them.
it is actually so
We
bad.
love you, Instagram.
No,
You're
we
great.
don't. We don't. I don't.
Okay, here's a question. What is one tip you would give to like a new photographer trying to grow their social media? Because I know all of us are probably in the process of trying that as photographers. Like, what's one thing you found that helps to grow your social media presence?
I'd say persistence.
Consistency.
Consistency.
I say that, but I am the most inconsistent person ever
See?
on social media. And it's really, really bad.
Well, we
Yeah.
found like posting every day because I feel like for a while there, Ava and I were posting every day, and you're like just your interaction with your account
Yeah.
was way up. So that's one thing I found is like just being consistent. So like what I do is I'll make a bunch of posts, reels, and have them queued up. So I'll take like a
Scheduled.
1 day a week and just spend 2 hours making different reels, different posts, different social media, having it all ready to go, and then just scheduling it. So then all I have to do is just go and be sure to upload it every day, and that's a lot easier. I
Yeah.
have not been good
Oh,
about it
yeah.
recently. I have a lot of photos I've been sitting on waiting
Same.
to post.
I will say I got onto Instagram for a while and then I had gotten off for like a year and a half. And then I got back on and I was like, okay. I went through and like purged a ton of photos because I was like, oh, this is cringy.
Oh, I found some old on my photographer. I'm like, why did I even post that?
I can't scroll too far. I should probably just delete them. But when I got back on, I was posting 2 things every day for 2 weeks. Just to also get more of my own, like what I'm actually doing now up. Because at this point, this was like a year and a half of me being in school and doing all my own stuff. So I had a lot of stuff to go through. So I started doing that and I gained followers pretty quickly. I'd also say, even though they seem kind of dumb, the reels from those people that are like, comment or whatever if you're lower than like 15K or blah 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 blah, like they sound super dumb. I did like a few and I got like 8 followers. So it's like stuff like that. Interaction with other photographers is great. Even just going through the stories and like commenting and going through reels and commenting and posts and stuff, that'll definitely get you followers. I have a lot more than I started with.
So I have very few, but I was listening to a podcast, and I guess I'm stealing their ideas and putting it here. But
Into another podcast.
it kind of talked a little bit about the different styles of posting, right? So you have like your stories, you have your reels, you have your static posts, and they basically touched on like how your stories are intended for people who are already following you. And so you're going to want to try and get engagement from them there. Your static posts are going to be like when people go to your page, what are they seeing? And then that's going to be like an okay spot for like a little bit of call to action. But then the reels is really where like the algorithm, I guess, is pushing. So that's where you can really start to try and get new followers is by posting reels. And there was like an update. I don't know how long, it was a while ago, but like the longer you stay on a reel, the better. And so that's why, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of Instagram reels will be like, want to know this? Read the comment. And you sit there for like 2-3 minutes reading the super long comment, and it's just playing the video over. And it's like a 7-second video. And it's playing it over and over and over again. But by you like sitting there and watching that and like reading it, it then pushes it to other people more. But I mean, I'm not SEO like savvy by any means, but I just kind of thought that was interesting. But it is kind of a struggle to like try and stay up to date with all that and like how to manage that.
You have to keep up with also the trends.
Keeping
what
up with the trends
audios are trending.
Like
that's also really important. I'm really bad about reels.
I don't like
take a lot of
social
time,
media
and
in
I'm
general.
like, it's so clunky to do it on the app, and I'm like, all right, we need to fix this.
I feel so awkward, like sitting there staring at a camera and being like dancing or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't do that.
Not that kind of trend. That's not what I meant.
Getting into vlogging is fun. That's something that I found I love doing. I've done that since I was a little kid. Like walking around the camera and just being yourself is. That's why for like a while there it was hard. Like when we first started YouTube, because like having a script, I would just forget and just go blank and get so nervous. And then Michael one time was like, "Hey, just pretend like you're just having a conversation with the camera." And then I got it like first try. So
now he doesn't stop talking to the camera.
But making sure like you're comfortable, and like that's the other thing with like going out and shooting in general, just being comfortable and not being afraid of people's opinions or like, oh my gosh, look at that weirdo. It's like I'm just gonna do my thing and like not and being confident.
I agree. Like, when I went to New York and I was vlogging, I was walking around, and not that I like cared about what people around me thought, but I was more so like, do people who are watching this video care to hear what I'm saying? So I guess that's something that I have to overcome, but I did enjoy vlogging, so I want to do more of that.
It's fun.
I just got reminded that when I was like in the 3rd grade, me and my friend were vlogging and doing YouTube videos all the time. And I've tried to look it up and try and find the videos. They're gone.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But I'm like, that was just a weird thing. Well, that's what I kind of thought, but I can't find them. So if anybody comes across
Are they on YouTube?
Yeah.
They're definitely not gone.
Find them.
I have like ones on my phone. Like
I do actually have a YouTube channel with homework assignments, like video homework assignments that I've had to submit. And that's so embarrassing.
Are they around?
Like the videos?
I want to find them. I love finding old people's YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny. You found Michael's.
Yeah.
The assignment was like you had to sit down and like have someone like interview you as you pretending to be the profession that you wanted to be. So I was like 16 or something, and I said that I was going to be a psychologist. So I grabbed my mom's clothes to try and dress up super professional, and the clothes were super big on me. And I had my friend just ask me random questions, and it was the most awkward thing ever.
That sounds like fun, though.
It made me realize how many times I say
We're big on the shooting videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of us, more than others.
That was embarrassing. Please don't find that.
If you just go on this podcast and you guys keep an counter, you'll hear a lot of ums.
Yeah. So
I think we're gonna
what's next?
Take a quick break, and then we're on the second half. We're gonna come back and answer your guys' photography questions
on Instagram. I know.
All right, we're back.
And we're back, and we're on Instagram now.
Ava's going to be reading our questions, and we're going to be answering.
After you went on that whole tangent.
Yeah, we're really all over the place in that first half, but we're going to get on a nice, solid subject. Ava's going to be reading off the questions, and we're all going to be answering as best as we can.
All right. First question is thoughts on camp snap cameras / digital film cameras in general.
I remember Michael sending an email that he got from someone about one of these cameras, and I'm going to read you verbatim what I said to that email. Well, to Michael, to that email. I said, already exists twice that I know of. Overdone. Next. TBH.
That is so true. Okay, let me just say this. No, I'm not hating on anybody, and I don't think we have a platform to like mess with their clientele. But it is so irritating because, at least from the ads I've seen, they're almost like film is not good. Like, don't shoot it. It's like way overpriced, way over expensive. Like, you're not getting enough images. Whereas I'm like, all right, it's not the cheapest thing, but even here at our lab, or there's a lot of other labs that make it pretty affordable to do, where you're only spending like
$12.
Yeah, I mean, you're spending $12, and then shipping is like $5-6,
$5.95.
and then maybe the film roll itself was what? What's like a roll of Fuji 200 costs or 400?
$8.
So you spend like $20-25 probably, which is awesome, and there's nothing that gets close to that look. And they have these like digital disposable cameras with no film in them. Like, it's so dumb. Like, it defeats the purpose of film. You cannot replicate. We've talked about this in so many other podcasts. You cannot replicate the look of film.
Okay, here's something.
Even filters cannot capture the grain that you get with
Yes.
film, which is just not possible.
It's really not.
Here's a question. Have you seen those Hasselblad ads that have the digital backs?
That's fine because they're not. That's
cool.
different.
That's just
Right, yeah. I was just
think
saying
that's
that's just what I thought.
integrating, kind of.
But these companies are trying to be like, film's done. We're done with film. Like, no,
They're
it's
like,
making
no,
it come back. You can't get rid of
not
it. It's
done. You
stupid.
I think the only one that I've seen that I guess I can kind of get behind is the paper shoot or whatever that one is.
Oh, the little like thing that's like paper? But, like it's like a camera like that thin.
So
and it
yeah,
has a little
it's
lens.
literally kind of just like the motherboard of the camera, the
Yeah.
lens, and then you put batteries in it, and then they make different casings,
Papers, wraps.
wraps for it. I don't know.
It's really
it's kind of
interesting.
cool, and I don't think they
It's
necessarily.
like that thin.
Yeah, they don't really market themselves as like a digital film camera. It's
Yeah.
just a digital camera.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
It
fine
was
with you have
more
little
like-
digital cameras or like even the old like unique digital, but just don't like a digital film camera is foolishness. So
Digital film camera
Next.
is what an oxymoron.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no. All right,
the
the
right
next
word?
one is here's,
that is, you're right. I think it is.
here's a good one. Pushing 800T one stop or similar actually yields great results.
Or similar. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
I've done it before. It looks good.
I mean, it looks good.
Anything else? I mean, it looks like it brings the contrast a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed
I've
it
never
looked
done
it went towards magenta more. At least in my role. I was also shooting the 2024 Eclipse with it.
Okay.
So that may
We
have
saw
been
some
because it
800T
was
ones
weird.
that had a really interesting color cast because of the films.
Yeah.
Like just natural hues.
Oh.
What do you guys think about pushing 800T? You ever done it?
Nope.
No,
Do you guys push
Have you
film
shot
at all?
800T?
I haven't pushed anything yet.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
Living. I don't really push
a
color
roll,
film.
and I haven't pushed a roll and been like, yes, you know.
I agree with that. I have never pushed a roll. Black and white I have. I'll always push my black and
Well,
white
if you
a couple
push
of minutes.
it, you don't know what it
But it's
would
not
have
a
looked
push.
like if you didn't push it.
What are some of the advantages of pushing a roll?
More.
You just get more to work with as far as like it just is
Contrast.
just developing it more. So like if you have an underexposed image and you overdevelop it, it's just gonna make your colors brighter. Now if it's well exposed and you're pushing it, it's just adding more contrast. Kind of is how I look at
Sort
it.
of. I mean, you're still like if you're still shooting at 200 at 800, you're still gonna get that light, but you're just pushing it too, so it'll give you more out of it.
In my mind, if I'm gonna push a roll of film, I'll just shoot it at a lower speed.
Yeah, it's more
And
like
then
if
just
you
do that.
don't. I don't really only push film if I don't have anything else, but I still really want to shoot it. Then I'll push it.
Now there'll be different ones. Like if I know like I went and shot a roll of 800T and it was just the moon, it's like I'm gonna push it just because I know that it's super
dark.
dark. Even though I had it on a tripod, I was doing a long exposure. I was like I'll push
Tripod?
it just in case. Tripod. And I'll push it. I'll push it just in case. You know, there's any. I'll do the same thing with black and white. But
Yeah.
black and white always looks better over developing by like 1 or 2 minutes. You don't have to do full stops. But I just a couple of minutes always adds like that.
All right, next one. Should you set up a home darkroom for development? Pros and cons.
No, you should send your film to us.
I think
Actually,
you should do it because it's fun to
definitely do
experiment.
black and white.
Yeah.
It is so much easier.
to do it at home?
Yes.
Well, color has to be
Color
at a very
has to-
specific
Yeah.
temperature.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
color-
saying it's easier to do black and white at home than it is here.
No.
I was like, I think it'd be easier to do here. I'm pretty sure.
No, but like, all you really need to do the black and white film is you need the chemistry, you need a timer, and then you need just something to put it in, and then you just go like this.
I don't. Wait, so
You agitate
did
it
the
yourself.
question say dark room?
Like
Darkroom
printing
for
or just like
development. So my
loading? Oh, it's
guess
like darkroom.
I don't
print?
think you need a dark room to develop.
no.
I have a little.
The
You
changing
need
bag,
a space
Yeah,
for
changing
it.
bag.
changing bag, tank.
Timer,
Chemistry.
chemistry.
You're good.
I don't know. I
A
think
sink.
if you wanna like explore and like into like the unique sides of film photography and like really do it as like a hobby, then I would say definitely do it. If you're wanting to just get your images developed, I'd say send it here.
Yeah.
You're still gonna get good images. We're gonna do a great job. But if you want to get more creative and want to do like, oh, like what's it like to do, then yeah, get yourself stuff. But it's also like pretty expensive.
Yeah, that's what I was
that's all
gonna
stuff.
say. I was like, if you're not really like, if you're not gonna full like be into it or be willing to spend the money, and you just kind of want to try it, I mean, go for it if that's what you want to do. But yeah, there's definitely costs.
And I'm gonna plan to have eventually in my house a Jobo
I
processor
want to
and
too.
a Noritsu scanner just at some point. If I get a hold of a Fuji, that'd be awesome. But Noritsus are a lot easier because I can just put them on a desk with a not a laptop, a monitor, and it'll be fine. But I would like to eventually have, but those are both very expensive pieces of equipment, so
Yeah.
it takes time. But I'd like to invest in that and have like a little like lab in my house. a
I'm starting to
small-
really appreciate the Jobo. You know,
It is such a legendary
yeah.
development machine. It is amazing. It can do everything.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, ready for the next one? Do you see many films that folks have shot that have used filters to alter the color balance?
Yes, we've
I
seen it
feel
before
like-
where someone
I spaced out.
accidentally shot a color roll and they left their black and white filter on. And it was a crazy, like it was like super yellow or
like a
super
red
red or
filter?
something.
Yes.
Yeah, something like I think it was a red filter.
Interesting.
We
Well,
don't see it a lot though. I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe we do and we just don't.
Yeah, it's
Maybe,
possible we
I
can't
don't-
tell, you know.
Because there's
Yeah.
definitely been rolls where I'm like, whoa, this color is really like
Weird.
off, and I can't correct it. So when we see that, we usually just leave it because
Yeah.
if it's a color, like if it's clearly a color cast and it's not like an old roll of film, as they're going for a look or maybe they tried something. It's like we're just not gonna mess with it.
Yeah, I'd say with the black and whites, the infrared films, those have you can put filters on those. There's no color involved.
I want to try that
But-
though because the last guest
Definitely
we
go
had on
look.
did that with
Yeah.
the infrared filters, and I'd never heard of that even.
Oh yeah, I knew it was a thing. I just never tried it.
Like what do you mean by the
Like if you have a Raleigh infrared, you shoot that roll and then you put a red filter in, or an infrared filter on the camera, it'll give the film a different look. How
I think
it's
it makes it
supposed
more
to be shot.
neutral.
Yeah. Well, I know that you can put like colored filters on black and white. So it's kind of like if it's
Yeah.
the same color, it makes it a lighter color or not color, but it just makes
Lighter
that part of
image.
the image a little bit lighter.
Well, 'cause
versus
Right.
if you put like the opposite color, it'll
'Cause
make
with
it
the
so it
infrared
kind of
films-
increases contrast a little bit.
Because with the infrared films, they're super
decreases.
contrasty in general. So I think the filter she was using was to bring it down a little bit. I thought,
Yeah,
like
I
it
think
almost makes
so.
it more of a neutral image. But I've never messed around with that. I like.
She shot a lot of SFX.
Oh, I love that film.
Are we?
Legendary. On to the next.
All right. Next one is really funny. Well, sort of. It's only funny. Never mind.
Just say it.
Thoughts on film scanning being done with aging 20 to 30-year-old equipment that isn't produced. I was saying it was funny because if you saw our Instagram
Behind the
story,
scenes. We don't really.
it's of Mike.
I mean, we work on all the machines, but if something goes wrong, it's usually Michael's taking care of it, so we don't have that much experience
Yeah,
with it.
I mean, definitely you have, because it's old equipment, it's harder to find.
And we definitely
So-
run into issues like even the Noritsu carriers, the wheels were just
Mm-hmm.
going out. So I think we sent out three like 2 weeks ago just to be repaired. The nice thing about the Noritsu scanners, I'm pretty sure there's still guys in the US that will do repairs
Yeah,
on
the
them.
Noritsus there are.
But even I think you can find parts for like even the color processor. I'm not as familiar with that.
Yeah. I mean,
But they're still available. It's definitely difficult to work on them. Michael has like taken apart that machine a couple different times, so he has a really good working knowledge of it.
yeah.
At first, it was kind of like trial and error and just seeing what happens. Like we had a pump go out the other
Last week?
and so last week we had to pull it apart and then realize Michael put a piece in wrong and we learned how to work on that and he put in a new pump. So
Yeah. The only thing about the processor is that they don't make new ones of that anymore. So you'd have to find an older one that was taken care of that part still works on. So that would be where like the complicated side comes in if you just could not find that part. But
We have 3 color processors, so we have a lot
more
of parts
than 3.
We have 3
We
that
have
aren't.
5. We have 4 in the back, and then 1 is being used. Maybe
You're right.
we have.
We do. No, you're right. We do have 5.
we
There's
have
2
5.
things back there, and then 2. That's wild. That's wild. Wow,
Oh, we were talking about this question earlier, sort of. We hit on it. Tips on how to feel more confident while taking photos in public.
Just be confident.
Don't care.
I think that's harder, or that's easier said than
Right.
done.
It definitely.
Once you push
Yeah.
past the
weird part.
the feeling embarrassed and like in public, I found even just being like, and this is gonna sound so dumb, but even just being like funny with your friends and being like louder and being not like disruptive, but like if you're out in a public
if
space.
you're a disrupt to the peace
No,
of
but
the
if you're out in
area,
public space,
you'll
though-
be fine.
But if you're out in public space and like just if you're more confident just in the way you are as a person, it helps with photography. And to be like, the other day I just did it where I like asked them, I was like, hey, like, can I take your photo? And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah. So it's like people usually are gonna say yes, and if they say no,
then it's fine.
the worst they can say is like, I don't want my picture taken, so keep moving. So it's like it's just go and do it. And then once you get used to it, it's just something you get used to. I don't know.
Yeah. So I get it. It's definitely stressful, especially when you haven't done it a lot.
Right.
So kind of
yeah.
like exposure therapy in a sense, going out and doing it. But I also think that you can kind of like ease your way into it. So if I don't know exactly what that person's photographing, but like you can start off just by going on nature walks and like just where nobody is and just kind of practice like being comfortable with yourself first. And then if you feel comfortable with family and friends, you can be like, hey, like I'm going out, I want to like do some photography. Will you guys come with me? And sometimes being in a group setting makes you feel a little bit more comfortable because you're not the only one doing it. And then I think eventually just kind of like easing yourself into like things that take a little bit more boldness, like, okay, maybe if it is street photography, like then maybe get a big telephoto lens and do it from afar where
I've
they can't
definitely
see
been
you.
like, like this is my camera, like want to take a picture of somebody, but I don't have the confidence to be like, hey, like, can you take your photo?
There was a guy that we learned about in one of our I think our photography history or one of our classes that would take telephotos and take pictures in like New York of people in their windows.
So creepy.
That might have been.
That's very
It's
scary.
very creepy.
It is,
But the point of
the
they
concept
had
is
no
really cool,
idea.
I think
too.
that's Philip Lorca de Corsia,
Yeah, yeah.
and he did that.
I think so.
Always with the names.
Education, but he did.
Well,
he
it's
did a couple things like
He
that.
did a couple things like that, and it's
Yeah.
just There was also another guy that took pictures of people's iPhones in some ways,
Yes, I remember that.
and they would just There was a series. There
One
was
thing
just
is-
different things.
One thing is too about
Crazy.
doing photography in public is genuinely just being confident and walking up
Yeah.
to somebody, and like 9 times out of 10, people do not care, or they're gonna feel really like a
Honored.
confidence boost, or like honored to be like, hey, like you say, hey, like I love your outfit, or your hair looks amazing, or you're beautiful, can I take your photo? People are usually gonna be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, I'd love to.
Yeah.
It's like, so just being confident goes a long way, and then acting like you know what you're doing, which if you know what you're doing, it's fine. It's like,
Fake
hey,
it
like
till you make it.
right.
Well,
So-
now sometimes like when I was shooting on the 400 millimeter, watch that video if you haven't. That lens is so huge, and I was just sitting on the beach at the boardwalk, and I have to like mentally prepare myself when I'm shooting that lens or when I'm shooting my large format, because they are essentially like conversation pieces to other
Yeah.
people around them. Like it's normal for me, but other people are
Right.
curious about it. And sometimes it's, I mean,
It's sometimes fun, and
Makes
sometimes
me
really
nervous. It
annoying.
makes me nervous
sometimes
to
it is
bring stuff out
annoying,
into
but
the
I get the curiosity. But yeah,
Well, like, even when you take your telephone, it's like sometimes I want to talk, but sometimes it's like people that are like, you're like locked in.
yeah.
Like, there was one
sometimes I'm
time I was
trying
out,
to
like, I was
work,
shooting
you
in the
know?
rain.
Yeah,
And like I was trying to get a shot of surfer. It was
Yeah.
like foggy, so I was already struggling. Someone's like trying to have a conversation. I'm like, just please leave me alone. I'm like,
Is
have a
that about
towel
me?
over my
Are you
head.
talking about me?
No, no, because I can just ignore you and it was fine. But there was someone else came. I was like trying to like have a conversation with me. I was like, I'm trying to
Right.
like, I don't want to be rude to you.
Right.
Right.
Because I
Yeah, and
wanna be
especially
nice,
with
but-
surf, like you have to focus.
Yeah, I
on
gotta be
that.
locked in on what's going on.
Yeah. Well, everything's moving so quickly.
Well, and also it was foggy. Everyone's wearing a black wetsuit because it's winter, so you can't really differentiate. So once I find the surfer I'm trying to photograph, you got to be locked in. Like I try to keep them in my viewfinder at all times, just
Which
so
is
you don't
hard
make
that
a
zoomed
mistake.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
overall would just be confident. and just
But also,
practice.
be more confident. Be confident.
That's what I'm saying. I know it sounds dumb.
Sometimes it's fake
But
until you make it.
Right,
just
that's what I'm
have
saying.
to cross
Just-
that barrier of feeling awkward.
Yeah.
And if you don't exude awkwardness, then it won't seem awkward. And I think it also is like, I'm even this way when I don't have my like film camera or digital camera. When I just have my phone, I'm like, oh, this is really pretty. Like even it's like a scene or something. I feel awkward pulling out my phone to take the picture. Only because it's like,
I'm just like, you're on camera.
No, but it's like if I have a camera, or a film camera or a digital camera, it's like they also know that you know what you're doing.
Oh, I love hiding behind my camera.
Like they're also sometimes if they're more interested in the camera than you are,
Yeah.
or than of you, and that helps. Like I
think-
feel more professional when I have my camera, not when I'm just like I'm a
Doing candid
photographer.
photography on your iPhone is really weird. If you're
Right,
doing candid
that's what I'm
photography
like.
on your iPhone.
I'm saying in general.
No, I know
though.
what you're saying.
I think for me, I don't want to say the fear, but the idea that I won't get a shot or I won't take a photo,
That's nerve-wracking.
like
Here's my Instagram. I'm never going to post this because I don't have the photo.
far exceeds the anxiety that I would get from people looking at me while I'm taking a photo. For me personally,
Right.
and I'm a socially anxious person, so
Yeah, same.
yeah, I
A
don't
big
know.
like thing that's scary too is when you're shooting like 120 or like a rangefinder, asking somebody because you know it's going to take
Yep.
quite a few seconds just to get it focused. They're like, hold. I'm sorry, just keep holding for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Because most people are like
It's
walking on the street
annoying.
just want to keep going on with their day. So like you were saying, the friends and family does help. Because
Oh,
I've
yeah.
found I've gotten a lot more confident even just opposing people. I'd be like, stand this way, do this. And
Yeah.
just being more confident and not being like, well, you know what, do whatever you want to do. Because photographers like that are so irritating to work with because I've done some like modeling stuff like when I was younger. And so, but when you're trying to like get like
Oh, he was a
modeling shots,
model.
someone's like, oh, just do whatever you
He was a
want.
model.
It's like, no, tell me what I need to do because I don't
See,
know what
that
to do.
only works if you already know what you're doing. If you're talking to a model and you're like, all right, experiment from here, that makes
Well,
sense.
sometimes it helps. Like I only do
people,
like
like-
doing candid stuff anyways. So I usually am just like, live your life and I'll take photos of you.
No,
But
I know.
I
I'm
feel like
saying like, yeah.
just a photographer that is, especially if you're doing like modeling or wedding stuff, I feel like it's just so important to have a photographer who's like vocal and says, please do this for me. Instead of just doing like a, do whatever you want, I'll take the photo. Because then
Talking-
usually you're not going to get a good photo. Or maybe that's the photography you do and it works
I
for
mean,
you.
talking to the person you're photographing is so vital.
Right, because hiding behind your camera can sometimes be
Yeah,
scary as like a,
because
they're just a
especially-
camera where it's like, oh, hey, how was your day? What are you up to?
Especially if it's like a portrait, especially if it's one person.
Conversation
That person
sucks,
is,
though.
if they're
I
not
hate
like
talking
the
to
most like, I don't know, self-esteemed person ever, then they're going to feel super self-conscious if you're just sitting there taking pictures.
Being introverted
and
as a
not.
photographer
Is
that does-
hard.
Human photography is hard because I don't like talking to people in general. So
Kind of
like
train
being-
yourself,
Do-
though. Train
Yeah.
yourself to become charismatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah, I
Not,
can't be
not
like
being
that.
like fake or anything,
Well, also,
but
to
like
say,
just
like,
kind of
this
like,
is, like,
it's
my job.
practicing with like the social interaction.
I'm just not charismatic, so
Yeah.
you can
Sorry.
like you were saying that it's like a not like a fake it till you make it, but like just like this is my job. I have to be this way for my job. I can turn off my social battery when I get home. I can like recharge social battery when I get home, but I just need to be confident and know exactly what I'm doing here because this is what I'm doing for a job.
Yeah.
It's a hat.
I do also think that depending on like why you don't have that confidence, like you might want to look into like that, like in word and be like, is it like I'm worried about people looking at me and what they might think? Is it I'm worried about people going up and trying to talk to me? Is it like you
don't think you'll get the
how
right
you
shot?
imagine yourself looking? You know, like you've got to kind of think about that and break it down to figure out like the root cause. And then, I mean, I'm not a therapist, but maybe you should talk to a therapist and kind of figure out like how you can just kind of improve
more
on that.
confident, yeah.
I think if it is because you are a little bit worried about what other people might think, if you're out in a random place, most likely you'll never see those people again.
And
Worst case,
You make a friend.
you could make a friend. Worst case, though, someone takes a video of you and you end up on influencers in the wild.
yes, that's my.
And
I was so scared about that.
just working.
In New York, I was
Puts more
terrified.
fame on you.
but at the end of the day, like if you're doing what you love, are you really going to be embarrassed and ashamed by that? You know,
Right.
Well,
Just
it
be
could be
confident.
it could be nerve wracking, but yeah, you got to get through.
Yeah.
that.
All right, next
All
question.
right,
We've
next
spent a lot of
question.
time on that one, but it was good. We really dug
it's
into
an
it.
important one though
It is
because
an
it's very important.
Right.
It's important because it's
inspires-
important.
Exactly.
So
What inspires your photography? What projects are you working on? We kind of already talked about projects, but what inspires you guys?
movies.
I'm not
Movies.
inspired.
I so
That
agree
is
with you.
such a good one.
Sorry, that was out of, but like especially with
That was-
cinematography.
Yeah.
Like I will watch movies and be like, okay, this is exactly the type of video I want to do now based off of that. So I definitely agree with that.
It's
Music?
music.
Music is huge too.
Music
Dang,
is
we're really-
huge. I have a whole
Putting in your
playlist
earbuds?
for just like things that I've gotten ideas from.
Putting in earbuds and shooting is just the best thing ever. Like doing lightning photography, just like dark outside, there's a breeze, and just playing music is the greatest thing in the world.
What is it that you listen to?
A lot of stuff.
That dark?
Usually, it's sad music. Really is.
facts. That is so real.
So nice at the nighttime though. Even like how I walk my dog every night, so I'll put on some sad music, and it just is.
He's walking Bernie, pulling
way
his
to
eyes
decompress.
out.
I feel like I like to let my clients inspire me. I really like to get to know my clients. I really enjoy doing couples. And so I send them a pretty comprehensive questionnaire to really get to know them about their relationship, how they met, how their personalities complement each other. And I do ask them about like their vision for the photo shoot. But I also kind of like add things like, okay, if your relationship was a song, what song would it be?
Oh, that's a fun question.
And
That's a fun question.
yeah. And so then I kind of pull from different elements of their lives and their relationship to really create a unique session just for
construct
them.
a
And
personalized
based off of that song and based off of the vibes, I like to create a playlist and like during that session, play the music in the background.
I've heard of people doing that. If
Yeah.
people talking about doing
My
that.
song
It just
would
helps
probably
set
be
the
like a single by
mood,
somebody.
you know?
Like a single will probably
Because
be.
you're single.
That'd be my relationship song.
Hey guys, he's single.
Yeah, I got no. You no. Stay
Number
away.
in the show notes.
No, but I have found too. Whenever I am listening to music, watching movies, and just in life, I think about life through the lens or like the eye.
Literally through the lens.
Like through the lens of photography, it sounds so corny, but like through like this like I'll listen to music and like I'll be experiencing something like, okay, this is how I can capture it on a video, this is how I can capture it on a camera, and this is a song I could use to do that. So that's something that I just do in my life in general, is just look at life through like how can I photograph it? How can I
photography?
how can I photograph it and how can I video it? And so that's something that I really enjoy doing. I've been doing that since I got into it, and it's fun.
Yeah, I think for sure. Also, even the people around you.
Yeah.
Like, because I've had a lot of ideas that have come from people.
Yeah, like my
For me, lately I've I've been burnt out. Like we touched on, but
Bree's been struggling. Okay, Bree's been going through rough
struggling a
patch.
little
college.
John
it's
has some
college.
sad music recommendations for you.
My sad
It's
music playlist will knock
college
you
and
out.
the people associated
Knock
with
your
said
socks off.
college, but it's fine. Moving on from that, I think what does inspire me is honestly like where I live, like in Florida, I guess.
Yes, legendary.
You know, like the beach, especially. That sounds so
No, it's true
No,
though.
but-
like driving home from work and the sun's going down, it's just like, oh, this is like good.
yeah, and
calm.
Like the Florida life is what you want to convey through like your social media photography.
And I think that's kind of been seen through my landscapes because that's kind of what it's focused on, is just Florida landscapes.
Florida's the best.
That's so
It is.
interesting. I don't like Florida landscapes. Really? Yeah.
I think not that I never liked them, but I think the reason I chose Florida was because I live here, but also
You have to.
because I feel like I had overlooked Florida landscapes. You know, I'm like
The
here
Everglades.
I'm here all the
I've never
time,
been there.
Yeah.
and so I kind of overlooked that, and I get so excited when I'm out of the state that I needed to find the beauty. Oh, that sounds weird. Corny.
It's cringy, but true.
Right? Yeah, like I
Cringe
needed
stuff
to
though
really.
is usually like
It
true.
holds
When you're
some
talking about
truth.
like, especially when you're talking about like different ways of like the vibe of photography and like how to talk about stuff, you have to use cringy words because you're explaining something that is a little
Yeah.
cringy.
They're
It
only
sounds
cringy
just-
because people have taken them that way.
yeah.
It's just the pretentious people that have.
Here's
Everglades.
Speaking of Florida, somebody's asking, what locations do you visit the most for your videos? I would
Tomoka?
say downtown.
Tomoka State Park and downtown
Downtown
Ormond.
Ormond.
There are
Tomoka State
so
Park
many
to the north.
places. I want to travel. Like, a
I
little
wish
more.
we
Okay,
could go a
I
little
went-
farther.
No, I went and did my sister's like pregnancy reveal or whatever at this botanical garden, like butterfly gardens in Ormond, and it's so cool. I don't know if they redid it, but there's
The
like a
sugar
bunch
mill?
of trails. No, right by my
Oh.
house. The art
Yeah,
center.
tell everyone where you live.
No, like,
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of trails
You've
and
never
like
been back
ponds,
there?
and no, I haven't. And I was like, we need to go
That
shoot
is
there next time.
gorgeous.
Yeah, we
No,
need to go
I
shoot
know
there.
that's-
Maybe
that's
we'll shoot the
there.
video tomorrow there. We're
It
doing
was
the
closed for from
Wheel
the
of
hurricane.
Film video tomorrow. Let's go there. We'll
We
go there
should
tomorrow. It'll be good. Anyways.
All right. Do different color film stocks matter when, in the end, the majority of film gets scanned?
Yes, they matter. Very much so.
Also, I'm a little
Unless
confused
you
by your
edit.
question, to be honest. Do different color film stocks matter
So like,
when, in
does
the
it-
end, they all get scanned?
So
Like,
does
of
it
course
matter-
they all get scanned.
he's asking you.
Color corrected? Is that
Yeah,
what
he's
you
saying
mean?
when they get color corrected, they're color corrected.
Got
with one
it.
policy
So like
exactly the
gold
same.
versus
Right.
color plus.
I mean, they still look different.
They do. Yeah.
But that's our job is to color correct for the look of the film. So if we see a
That's why
Lolo
you-
purple, we're not going to correct out the purples. So part of our job is not to make them all look exactly the same. It's to make the photo and the roll of film look neutral for what it should look like.
Right.
So if
That's-
we're scanning a roll of film that's cloudy, but they have super warm look for some reason, like maybe the scanner overcompensated, we're going to pull out some of that warm look because that's not the photo that you were taking. Now, if you want to do that in post, edit it or whatever, we don't
You
recommend
should.
it. Certain people
I
would.
do recommend it.
But if you want to, you can. But we're going to correct for what it looks like the scene looked like. So if it's cloudy, we're going to make sure it has like a gray neutral look. Or if it's super warm, we'll make sure it has like a warmer
Well,
look.
send it to us because we know what we're doing.
We're very good at what we do.
can
We're
trust us.
very good at what we do. That sounds horrible.
And we're
but-
very
We are,
humble.
We're not cool. I can pretty much say that all the way around. None of us are that cool.
not cool, but we know what we're doing and we're pretty good at it.
Leave a
so.
comment down below. Who's the coolest?
Out of us four? Oh, geez.
Out of actually, no, we're gonna do this. I want
Please don't.
everybody.
I don't wanna know.
In the comments, yes, scale of 1 to 10, coolness for each employee.
That's nobody's
harsh.
gonna do
That'd be
that.
so harsh. That
No,
would be
there's
so
someone that
extra,
would.
though.
I have
Nobody-
that
That would
nobody's
be
someone
gonna
really
take a
extra.
shot.
If
to
you
give
are
me a
that
negative
extra,
10, okay?
remind me to
me,
not
it's
read
me.
the comments.
Reading comments is fun, though.
Oh, reading
You don't
comments
like
is
the mean
fun.
comments are so much fun.
All right, wait. Here's
It
another good
fuels
one.
me.
It fuels
That
you.
was crazy to say.
Will
That
you-
was cringy to say. Is
All
what that
right.
was.
That's what I meant.
You'll enjoy this question. Will you make a video someday comparing different ortho films?
We should do that
We
because
should do
Raleigh
that.
has an ortho. Ilford has an ortho.
Farinia has ortho.
Close
Is it
enough.
the same thing?
I don't
Thanks
know.
for the suggestion.
We should
know,
do
actually.
that's whoever that is. Good job. Maybe we'll do that as the next video because I've never shot the Raleigh ortho. Theirs is an ortho 25, I think. And ours
I think so.
5.
and Ilford's 80. And then ortho I would say is
It's close-ish.
it's closest. I think it's an 50 speed film, but
I
the
think
development time is way different. So we probably want to do that as a different
Yeah.
video.
Here's
Anyways,
another
that's a
one.
Good idea.
Did I see a Frontier scanner in a recent YouTube vid? Yes, you did.
We've had that
Yep.
since the opening of the lab.
We have, and you have good
Scan
eyesight.
Station 2. It's a
my
great
favorite.
it's a great scanner.
I like
Do you
Here's
like that
one.
better than Noritsu's? Or no?
Here's one that Michael really liked.
That was the first one I scanned on,
can
so
It's classic.
It's the middle one. I can't read.
neither can
Michael
you apparently.
The middle one.
The middle one, the UFOs one?
Yeah.
Michael really hit us with some hard spelling. And UFOs or anomalous phenomena.
Anomalous? That's a word?
Anomalous? What does that mean?
Translation, please.
What does that mean? Genuinely, none of us know what that means.
Or asking Michael.
What is... Yeah. Okay.
Anonymous.
Okay,
Like an
so
anomaly.
UFOs or unknown phenomena photographed by your customers. Oh, we did have one.
We have
A
Bigfoot.
giant bug. I'm just kidding. We did actually have some. We talked about this on an episode,
bug.
but there was like a.
Oh, the bug.
What even was that again?
It was a beetle.
But we figured out what that was.
He was on the lens.
We figured out. I don't think it was a
In the
beetle,
film
though.
camera, on the lens,
You know
on the
what's
negative.
crazy?
When he shot it,
Is
it
if you
imprinted.
go on the Instagram 8mm filter, that little bug will show up in the corner. I am not joking.
What bug?
The bug that was on that film.
I don't think
don't-
so.
I literally will pull it up right now. I'm going to be annoying and be on my
That's
phone.
crazy.
Nope, I'm going to show them right now.
I don't believe you. Somebody actually just sent.
Give me a second to do this. I'm going to show you guys.
Where? I don't see a bug.
Nope, you're going to see it. I'm going to take the photo.
Nope.
No, where is
That's
it?
all the twin check.
I'm going to
labels.
find it. I'm not going to be on my phone for this podcast, but I'm going to show them, and it's crazy.
Oh my.
So rude.
We have another
Sitting here enjoying
filter
my life.
question. Which filters to use, especially for black and white photography? I feel like we kind of touched on
Warmer
Kinda talk about
for darker skies if you're using black and white, and then blues to lighten the blues, and then I sound so enthusiastic.
To lighten
I don't
the
know. It
blues.
it just makes sense in my brain. You know what I mean? So red equals darker blues. The
Bug on the post. Bug.
Why is there a
I don't know
bug?
why it's on that filter, but
That
maybe
is
it's a
so
film
weird.
thing that we don't know about. But
Is there
anyway,
bugs
sorry.
on
Back to your
Super 8
filter
film?
thing.
So the warmer
Why? Are you sure?
the color, the darker the blues will look, and then the cooler the color, the lighter the blues will look.
Yeah, it's kind of
Color,
like
it's color
it's kinda
theory.
like
Yeah.
opposite of the color wheel almost.
Really?
So,
I didn't see them.
like
I
with
am at the
you said like the yellow and like the red, those are warmer colors. Opposite would be like that
Oh, there
blue
you go.
cooler tones, and so it would make the blues
Yeah.
darker, but it would also make the warmer tones lighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that just went right over my head.
Yeah.
We don't need to explain it. I'll go back and watch the episode.
we
and
have
it'll be
two
good.
more
I
brand
definitely
you guys
suggest
guys
you
wasn't
look
it?
it up.
We
Yeah,
have
there's charts.
Filters are
there's like a
cool.
whole like graph on it or something.
We have
Figure it
two
out.
brand new ones. What are the differences in development between Noritsu and Frontier scanners?
No development,
Development?
differences.
We don't really develop on the scanners. we do scan.
on the scanners.
I don't know really. I would say
They have slight differences.
They do.
Definitely.
I think
They render
the
color
Frontier
different.
produces a more polished look,
Interesting.
and I think the Noritsu is better fitted for editing.
I will say the Noritsu has a lot more capabilities as far
It
as
does.
being flexible because it's
Yeah.
a newer machine. So you're able to go in and actually adjust super
Certain
different, like really go into the image and adjust it. Whereas the Frontier is a little bit more basic. The Frontier is nice. I feel like sometimes it tries to do less with the color correcting.
yeah.
Like it will just give you more of a neutral to work with because like we've scanned different rolls on the Noritsu and it makes the colors like go crazy, like not what it's supposed to look like, and then we put it through the Frontier and it looks fine. So the Frontier I think
Yeah.
is sometimes better with neutral look, and it's also the Frontier. It has like a classic.
Yeah.
I think it gives a little bit of a warmer
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
look in my opinion. I don't
Yeah.
know why that is.
I
If
would
it's
agree.
just the setting.
I mean, I guess reword what I said. Like I think the Frontier has more contrast to it. Just straight how it is.
Noritsu is
And
more of a
then-
base, like what?
Yeah, a flatter
Yeah.
original scan, I guess.
Almost like a TIFF file that you can more adjust.
I found
In the
myself scanning
Noritsu?
mostly on Noritsu.
Oh, your own film?
Yeah, just because like my own
You
film.
shoot 120.
Well, that's true. I can scan it on there. Actually, I've been
Yeah.
wanting to get into scanning on the Frontiers, but
yeah, I want to overscan so bad.
so the issue is I don't think we can. We have to buy.
But can't you with the
Masks.
120?
You'd have to.
No, because it's all the
yeah.
same width. All the film's the same width. So even though, it's all
No,
going.
I'm
to-
talking putting
No,
35.
putting it through the 120.
Oh,
because
so you
I
could-
shoot 35.
So you could do 35. The issue with 35
You'd have
is
to
with the
hold it.
120 doesn't lock it into place.
Right, yeah.
So if you shifted it all, your image is going to be blurry.
Yeah.
So we don't do that. Please don't request it because that's something we do.
Well, we don't do it.
we
so
don't. Yeah, we don't
request
overscan.
it.
But
We also don't do 4x5, so don't send us.
Frontier looks really
Or
nice,
4x5,
but I
no.
do most of my scanning on the Noritsu just because I have a lot more flexibility. But the Frontier, if I'm shooting a nice roll of like gold, like
Some films look
35,
better
I will
on-
put it to the Frontier and it just looks mint.
Our last one was disposable cameras are the best.
Let me do something called the F9. It is a reusable. Is it called the F9?
No.
Yes. That's called the F9, right?
Yeah, that's an old one.
The Kodak, I have to see looking at it right now. The Kodak H35N.
That's
It's
the
a
half frame.
disposable camera. Who cares? It's
It's
better.
not a
It's better. It's
disposable.
better in the long run, anyways. No, I'm saying, and I'm going to prove why it's better. You have 76 images, and you can
Two.
reuse the camera. 72. I know. I work here, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, but I would say disposables are awesome, but they're not cost effective. I would definitely
No.
shoot a reusable camera. I call them reusable disposables, even though that does not make sense. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah,
Um,
again.
But it's like basically a camera I view as like a disposable because it has similar-ish,
Look.
maybe
to
a
it.
little bit of setting changes, but mostly going to be a pretty simple camera.
I mean,
But you
Yeah.
can reuse it. It just
Get a
makes
point and shoot.
that's what I was just going to point
That's
to.
what
They're
yeah, what's
available
those
on eBay.
You can get one
The
for
Canon
like
Prima
what,
Zoom
30,
that I
40
shot
bucks
was really
sometimes?
good.
Well, even that Harman Easy camera we sell is an auto
Oh
advance.
yeah,
It's like
that
40
one
bucks.
actually is really nice.
I think it's 40 or 50 bucks, and it's an auto advance. Got a pretty solid lens on it. I think it's a glass lens. Don't quote me on that.
I think disposable cameras are good for like events. Or
Yeah.
They can
something,
be
but-
nice if you
And they're
don't want to
also
have
pretty-
to worry about like breaking a camera.
And keeping in your pocket. They're nice if like you're on the go and just want to get the film look. But there's
Get a
point and
point and
shoots. There's
shoot.
point and shoots that are small enough that like you can have it on your person and it
Yeah.
not be a big issue.
Big thing.
I love them. I think they're so fun. Like I can just go out and I don't have to think so much about like I don't get the cameras when I'm trying to like photograph good. I get the cameras when I'm like I'm going out with friends. I just want to have fun.
Right.
I just don't even want to think. I just want to wind, click. I want to be able to pass it around, let other people take photos.
It is easy.
But,
See,
yeah,
but I think-
I do like a point and shoot because you can reuse it.
I think why like disposable cameras, you have to constantly make sure that the flash is charged and everything like that. Where with the point and shoot, it kind of just does it on its own, you know?
Yeah, if you have the right
just-
point and
Or if
shoot,
you have the right point and shoot, it'll talk to you.
you have a talking one.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it's a point and shoot.
crazy.
So you can turn on this button and there's a sensor in it. So I'll like hold down the shutter and it'll be like exposure low, turn on flash, film not loaded. So like I have it, if I'll press it down while it's on, it just be like no
what does
film.
the
It's
voice
more
sound
It's
like?
accessible.
It's really a weird voice. It almost
Is
doesn't
it
have an accent.
female or-
It's female and it's like a mix
Is
between.
that the only woman
That
you could
sounds
get to
like
talk
that
to?
sounds like a like an accessibility
You know,
feature.
Just catching strays, okay? Catching strays. No, I wouldn't use it that much.
Wait,
But it's just
Well,
a cool
I was just
feature
gonna
to
say
have.
it sounds like an accessibility feature for blind people.
Yeah.
Which is funny
yeah.
if you're taking
Why is
photos.
that funny, Bree? We're really getting into some dangerous water here. The camera is a very cool camera. We
I'm
love
not
it.
saying you can't be a blind photographer. I'm just saying I haven't seen it before.
The camera in and of itself is supposed to be an idiot-proof camera, basically. Okay. And so I don't use the feature that much. It's a nice auto advanced camera. Anyways, I think that's going to close us out for that episode. I think that's a good way to end it. Thank you for watching this episode of our podcast. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below of what you want the next podcast to be about. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
And that ending was.
Holy cow.
That ending.
A lot of people shoot, so it's kind of funny. Like, what are we talking